Hello there. My intention today is to drill a hole in the side of my newly painted mouse droid. Today I'll show you how I do it, and I'll also explain why I'm doing it. I've already said that my main intention with this mouse droid is to use it at events. And if anything goes wrong with it at an event, I don't want to be unscrewing all these screws and taking it to pieces. I want to be able to get inside it and sort out any problems. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a hole in the side here. I'm going to have this side panel removable. So if anything happens at an event, I can simply take this side panel off, get my hand in there and fix the problem, I hope. So obviously any hole I make has got to be big enough to get my hand through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark it out with some tape. Getting my tape, whoops, not very level. Just like this. I think that hole's big enough to get my hand in. So what I'm going to use a hole cutter drill. And I'm just simply going to go in at the intersection of these points and cut to sort of this size. Just like this. Now all I've got to do is join these 4 holes up. And I've got a massive great big hole in the side of my Disney mouse droid. Well, my hole doesn't look perfectly square, but it'll do. What I'm doing now is marking where I'm going to have to do my next cuts. I'm going to have to cut between these holes. I'm not overly sure how to do that yet. I suppose I could get a jigsaw on the inside. I could use a Dremel, but that would mean going and finding a Dremel. Jigsaw might be quicker. Let's find out. That was just an experiment to see if it would work. There's a very coarse blade in my jigsaw. It did cut it, but it was very rough. Obviously I haven't cut to the edges here because I'm not happy to cut to the edges until I find a way to actually cut to the edges very neatly. I don't think the jigsaw is the way, unless I can get a very fine blade for my jigsaw. That's going to need thinking about. Well, let's see what kind of a mess we've made, eh? Come on. Not bad. I think that's more than big enough to get my hand into just about anywhere inside the droid. The question is, do I cut a hole in the other side or not? We've got all the tools out. It seems daft not to, so I'm going to put a hole in the other side as well. We have two holes. I'm reassembling the top of my mouse droid. The greeblies are held in. They sit on those springs, and these little bungs go up on the inside and hold them in place. That allows the springs to work as they move up and down. What I want to do is I want to lower these greebly arrays slightly. So on these little pegs, I'm going to mount these little spacers that I've 3D printed, and that is going to lower the whole greebly that much. Yikes. I've 3D printed two different depths so that my greeblies will be ever so slightly different in height, which is what I want. I give it that sort of real life prop build look. Can you see the spacers on the pins? And as I move the arrays up and down, see the spacer is stopping them going all the way up. It's difficult to see, but this is definitely ever so slightly higher than this one. That just gives me the sort of homemade, made in the studio look that I'm after. And here you can see the spacers in action. All they've done is they've just lowered the whole thing down ever so slightly. There we go. The whole point of having these holes, of course, is so that I can take these side panels off if I need to. Now the side panels are held on by this little wedge here, which is sort of like a pressure clip, goes onto a little bracket in here. And to get them out, you've got to press that down. And it makes it difficult actually to just pull them out. So what I intend to do is shave this down a little bit. This is what I've done to modify the panel so they slide into the mouse droid a little bit better. As you can see, this is an original, this is the modified one. I've used some sandpaper and I've curved this little piece in the centre, this little ridge in the centre, so that it slides over the pin that holds the screw. And at the sides here, don't know if you can see, I've just rounded it off. It's still not easy to get in and out, but it's a lot easier than it was, that's for sure. And there's no way it's going to fall out. Here we go, our mouse droid is all back together again. The body, that is. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to refit the suspension, but before I do that, I'm going to modify it. I'm going to modify it so it's got proper remote control, so that you can go slow as well as fast, and you can turn left and right however much you want. See you on the next video, and please like and subscribe.